Hey, hi all, good morning. So as part of Demo-2, we are going to discuss about today, like what is Cobol and what is the importance of Cobol, and we'll see some basic programming. so, so here, if you observe, the Cobol stands for Common Business Oriented Language, and it is developed in 1960s, but still we are using in a industry. But it is a structure based language. Okay, it will follow one structure. Okay, so what kind of structure and what are the things we are going to learn, we'll see. And the main thing is, so mainly we are going to use it for business applications, so not to develop any enterprise apps like WhatsApp or Facebook or something like that. And it is very similar to English language, so this is a very important thing here. If we observe all the keywords in a Cobol, okay, it's like similar to English language, okay. So it's not that much difficult. So you can easily understand the programming, okay, what is going on in our first line or second line, or it will be like that, okay. So coming to program structure, so always it will follow this structure, that's it, okay. So it's not like a classes, objects, okay. It's like not a C++ or Java or .NET, okay. So it will follow this structure. So first it will be there divisions. Under divisions, so there will be sections. So inside the sections, we have paragraphs, inside statements under sentences. Okay, we will see one by one, like so what is division and what is paragraph, what is statement and sentences. This is a program structure. And coming to divisions, so we have to remember 4 divisions. So there are 4 divisions. It's available in a Cobol programming. We have to remember like IEDP, okay. So there is no change in a feature also, okay. So it is constant, that's it. IEDP, okay. This is important interview question also, okay. What are the divisions it is available and what is the mandatory division, okay. Like if you want to build any Cobol programming, so these 4 divisions are we are going to use it. So first one, identification division and environment division and data division and procedure division. So mainly the identification division. So identification. So here itself it is there. So if you want to identify the program, so we are going to write identification division. Identification division with program ID is a mandatory. Next thing, environment division. So why we are using environment division? So to declare file concepts, okay. So we are going to use environment division. And data division is to declare the variables. So if you want to define any variable, we are going to use data division here. And next, procedure division. So procedure division, so here we are going to implement program logics. So first divisions will come. So inside the divisions, so we have a sections, okay. We'll talk about later on sections and all. Next, coming to declare a variable, like, so this is how we are going to declare a variable, like 01 WS data or WS name, pick X of 20 or 30, okay. If you want to assign a value to this variable, we are going to use value, and directly we are going to move the mainframes here, okay. So here, what is 01 and what is WS data, what is pick, what is X of 20. So this and all we are going to see in a going forward classes. Oh, this is how just we can remember 01 WS data, pick X of 20. So this is how we can declare variables, okay. So coming to data types. So we have only 5 types of data types here. So if you want to declare numeric values, we are going to use 9. 9 is the data type. A for alphabets, you can only store alphabets. X for alphanumeric. If you want to store any alphanumeric value into the variable, we are going to use X. S for sign, like plus or minus values. V or dot for decimal values. Okay, so here we can observe. So this sample Cobol program in a real time. So we can see this type of screen. So if we observe here, first identification division is there. So I told you, right? Identification division with program ID is the mandatory. Okay, identification division with program ID. So who is writing this program? Next. So I don't want to declare any variables. So that is the reason I'm not using data division here. In procedure division, if you want to write a logic, we are going to use procedure division here. Here just displaying something. Okay, so if you want to print something, we are going to use the display keyword. So that's why I told you, like it is very similar to English language. So here itself we can also see display whatever you are writing in a double quotes in a console, then stop run. So if you want to exit your program, or if you want to stop your program, so we are going to use stop run here. So in order to, so once it is completed, the Cobol program, once the Cobol program is completed, how we are going to execute our Cobol program? By using JCL. By using JCL. JCL stands for Job Control Language. So the JCL looks like this one. Okay. So if you observe this first line, okay, I will show you another one. So the JCL looks like this one. Suppose. So the first line is a job code. It's a job name, job code, and these are the parameters. So okay, we are going to discuss in a future classes, like going forward classes. So what is job code and what are these parameters? Next, we are going to write a step. Exit program name. What is our program name? Suppose your program name is sample. We are going to pass your program here and sysout dd star. So if you want to print in a console, okay, if you want to print this in a console, okay, each and every program we need to write a JCL. The JCL is common. Okay, JCL, this is a common, just we are going to change it for our program name in our real time. But here we are using online compiler, but you have to remember, so whenever you are going to write a Cobol program, if you want to execute our Cobol program, we need to write a JCL. So you have to familiar with these words like Cobol, JCL. Okay, why JCL means? So if you want to execute our Cobol program, JCL is mandatory. Okay, let's practice some programs here. So how the Cobol code looks like. Okay. So in order to practice Cobol programs, just go to Google and type Cobol online compiler. So here you can see www.jdoodle.com. Just click on this one. Just click on this one. So here it is a sample program. It's already there. It's already there. So I don't want to keep these values. Okay, just observe here. Identification division. So identification division with program ID. So program ID can be anything with the 8-letter word. Okay. So the max is 8-letter. So I'm going to keep it as sample. I'm going to keep it as sample. In procedure division, I want to print something. So if you want to print something, so we have a keyword display hi. Okay, hi, good morning. So I want to print this one. So in our real time, so after writing this code, you need to prepare one JCL. So that JCL can be looks like this one. So here you are going to pass your program name and we are going to execute your JCL. But here we are trying to execute this in a online Just try to execute this button. Okay, if you observe this one, see, so whatever we are going to write it in a double quotes, the same thing will get displayed in a console. So you can write anything in a double quotes, anything. If you want to print anything or any keywords or something. Okay, so this is like a string. Okay, this is like a string. So okay, so here I want to perform arithmetic operations. So how we are going to perform arithmetic operations? Okay, just you can observe here in normal way. So how we are going to perform addition? Okay, I know the number. Okay, 5 plus 5 equal to 10. So you have to think always in a mathematical way, most of the problems. So how you are going to decide as a 5? So just you can take one variable a is equal to 5, b is equal to 5. So see, the program will get decide. Okay, so you know how to perform addition. A plus b equal to c. The same thing. So first what we need to do, we need to declare variables. So how many variables it is required? 3 variables. Next, after declaring a variable, we need to pass or move data to a comma b. Next, need to perform addition operation. And finally, you need to print c value. Okay, these are the 4 steps you need to follow. So just observe here. So I told you, right? So if you want to declare, so what is the first step? You need to declare variables. So in order to declare a variables, so we have a data division under working storage section. We are going to declare variable 01 ws a pick 9 of 5. So here, what is 5 here? So here you can store 5 bytes of data. 5 bytes of data. So what is 5 bytes? So the maximum size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So this you can store it in a variable. So 1, 2, double line and triple line. Okay. So this much of data we can store it. Okay. WS B pick 9 of 5. So first we are going to declare variables. So how many variables it is required? You can declare it here. Pick 9 of 5. Okay. The data declaration part is done. Now, what is the second step? You need to pass or move data to A and B. So now A and B contains 0. We are going to move 5 to WS A here. Again move 5 to WS B. So now this variables, now we can just print WS A WS B. So what is the value it is storing here? Okay. So WSA contains 5. WSB contains, it's 5. So here you can observe, see, there's a 5 bytes of data. So it will start from right side. It will start from right side. So that's why, so the first byte, it is a 5. Then after that, we have a zeros. We have zeros here. Okay, I want to store 205 here. Here it is a 305. Just observe here. Just observe here. See, it occupies 3 bytes of data from right side. Okay, 3 bytes of data. Still we have 2 bytes. Okay, fine. So here it is the problem. So instead of 5 bytes, or just I have declared as a 6 or 7 bytes here. Just observe 205 7867. I'm moving here, but here it is displayed 57867 only. 57867. So the rest of the characters 20 got truncated. Why? Because we have declared only 9 of 5. So that's why it will take only the first 5 bytes from right side. You have to remember. So not from left side, not 205 or 78. It will come from this side. 7, 6, 8, 7, 5. Okay. So that's why it displayed 57867. So this is like size of bytes we are going to store it. If it is a numeric value, it will come from right side. It will come from right side. Okay, fine. So I want to perform some operation here. I want to perform some operations here. So here we have a keyword compute WSC equal to WSA plus WSB here. Okay, try to execute. So why the result is not displaying here? So we are not printing resultant value here. So that's why what we need to do, display sum of two values. So you can write anything for user understandable format in double quotes. Values equal to WSC. WSC. See, just observe here. The output is 50. So why 50 it came? Okay. So again, so first we are going to declare the variables. So after declaring the variables, just we are passing the value to these variables. So what is the keyword? Move is the keyword. Move is the keyword to pass the values to a variable. Move 20 to WSA. So now A contains 20, B contains 30. For display purpose, so we have used these two lines. So it is not mandatory, but we have used this one. So whenever you get it out, just keep a displays for this variable. So okay, what is the value it is there? Okay, next, finally, we are performing addition operation over here. Addition operation, compute WSC equal to WSA plus WSB. Then C contains resultant value. So here we are going to display sum of two values. Okay, there is another way. How we can write this one. So I'm going to create one more variable, WSD, pick 9 of 5 here. Pick 9 of 5 here. So we have some keywords, add, sub, multiplication, division, something like that. Okay. So we have add is a verb. Okay. Add is a verb keyword. Add WSA or WSB giving to WS D here. So unexpected 2. Okay, so see what it will do. So okay, we are not displaying so far. It will add these two variables. Okay, it's a keyword, normal English keyword. Add. Okay, instead of this logic, compute WSC equal to WSA plus B. So this is how we can write it. Add WSA, WSB, giving, okay, do addition operation and put it into this variable. So we need to print WSD. Display WSD equal to WSD here. Just try to execute. So what is the D value? It will get print. See, the two logics, whatever we have written, so it is giving same result. So either we can go with this logic, compute WSC equal to WSA plus B. Otherwise, you can go with add WSA, WSB, giving WSD here. So that is your wish. The same way. So here, if you observe this one, so instead of 9 of 5, so how we can write this one? So we can write 5 nines here. So this one or this one, 9 of 5. So both are same only. So here you are mentioning the size here, okay? 9 of 5 bytes. So instead of going to mention 9 of 5, directly you are giving 5 nines here. So both are same. So there are two ways to declare the variable, okay? The size, the data type and size. This is how we can declare. Okay. Next, I want to declare some alphanumeric WS name pick x of 20. Okay, I'm going to keep it as 5. So the same variable, how we can write it? So you can write 01 WS names. You can write 5x here. So if there is a 2x means, so it's a x of 2. So if it is a 3x means x of 3 bytes. Okay. So sometimes we are going to declare as x of 5. Sometimes we are going to give it as 5x here. So that's why it will store, that is how it will store 5 bytes of data. Okay, good. So now if you want to move the data to this variable, so what is the keyword? There is a keyword move. If it is a string, we need to pass it's in a double quotes, mainframes to WS name. So now WS name contains mainframes. WS name contains mainframes. So how mainframes it is going to store? So we have declared the variable with pick x of 5. Okay. Now inside the procedure division. So whenever you are going to execute a program, it will start from here, procedure division. It will follow structure based language and it will execute line by line. First it will execute this line, display, move, again display. Okay. Here, just try to execute and observe why only MAINF is going to print here, because you have declared, we have declared pick x of 5 here. Only 5 bytes of data it is going to store from left side. If it is a number, it will come from right side. If it is a again, I'm going to print these two values. 876543. Okay. So just observe WSB and WS name. So here, if you observe 76543, 76543. So how come 76543 is going to print? If it is a number, it will start the storage from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So first 5 bytes from right side. If it is a string, it will start from left side. So this is very, very important. Okay. MAINF. Okay. So in order to print entire string, so what we are going to do? So we need to increase the size here. So just keep it as 50. What will happen? So nothing will happen. Okay. So now if you observe this one, see mainframes, it is printed. So after these lines, like after these characters are 7 or 10 characters, so there is a space. So it will occupy up to 50 bytes as a spaces. If it is a number, so what it will do? It will occupy with the zeros. Just observe here. It will occupy with the zeros. See, if it is a number, it will store with the initial values as zeros. If it is a string, it will store initial values as a spaces. Okay, fine. So this is how we can declare the variables. This is how we can declare the variables. And if you want to print, we are going to use display keyword. If you want to move some value to variable, we are going to use move keyword. And if you want to perform any operations, arithmetic operations, we are going to use compute. WC equal to A plus B, A minus B, something like this. Otherwise, we have a keywords, add, subtraction, multiplication. So by using this logic also, we can keep it. Okay. If there is a program, there is 100 lines of code. So I don't want to execute some particular set of lines. Okay. So I don't want to execute this logic, or I want to separate it with, I want to execute only this logic. So what we need to do? So in this case, so the paragraph concept came here. So what we are going to do is, so whatever the code we have written, so just we are going to put it into a paragraphs. So why paragraphs we are going to write? So suppose if you, if we are going to read a book, so there are some paragraphs. So paragraphs is nothing but, it's like, so we can easily understand. So whatever it is there in a book, and we can easily read the content. Okay, this is a paragraph. We are going to perform something, and there is another paragraph. We are going to perform something like that. Okay, so how to write a paragraphs here? So just observe here. So after stop run 100. So you can write your name also, but for naming convention, I'm going to keep it as 100 add para. Okay, add para. So the paragraph name start with the dot and end with a dot. So this you have to remember. Okay, this you have to remember. So whatever the logic it is there, whatever the logic it is there, I'm going to keep it in a paragraph. I'm going to keep it in a paragraph. See, just observe here. So this is called paragraph. But I don't want to execute this paragraph. So I'm not going to call this paragraph. So if I want to execute this paragraph, just I'm going to simply going to call this paragraph. Okay, just try to execute now. Whether these lines of code will execute or not, we'll see. See, if you observe output, we are not displaying any sum of two values. Why? Because so the program execution start with procedure division and end with stop run. Just observe. First, what is there? Display hi, good morning. Then internally, like we are moving 22 WSA and 32 WSB. Okay, fine. And mainframes to WS name. And after that, display A, B, and WS name is there. Then after that, stop run is there. So where we are calling this paragraph? So we are not calling anywhere this paragraph. So how to call? So you know how to write a paragraph. Okay, I'm going to keep this set of lines in a separate paragraph. Okay. So how to write paragraph here? Okay. So again, I'm going to keep it as 200 move para. Okay, 200 move para. So the paragraph name ends with a dot and start with a dot. Okay. Now, what is the logic? So just this logic only displays. I'm going to keep it in separate paragraph. Now try to execute this one. Only hi, good morning is printing. But internally the values are moving, but we are not displaying here. Okay, we are not displaying. So the paragraphs mainly we are going to use it for, it's like a reusability. Okay, so whenever it is required, we are going to call the same paragraph instead of going to write the same logic or same lines. Okay, the same lines. So how to call paragraph here? So we have a keyword perform. So perform something. Okay, so sometimes we are going to tell like, okay, perform that. Okay, perform that logic, perform this logic. The same way we have a keyword perform is nothing but process. Perform. I don't want to display what is there in a B, C. Okay, so just directly I'm going to call it as 100 add para. So what will happen in this case? So first it will execute these 5 lines, then perform 100 para. It will directly go to 22nd line. Okay, because we are calling this 100 para. So what is there in 100 paragraph? So it will execute it. A contains 20, B contains 30. It will compute it, and sum of two values equal to 50. Okay, so finally the paragraph will get end in a 29th line. Again it will go back to 18th line, and there is a stop run. So we are not executing this paragraph because we are not calling this paragraph here. Just try to execute now. See here, if you observe this one, first hi, good morning printed, sum of two values, and WSD is 50. Okay, I want to perform this paragraph also. Okay, where you want to perform? So before going to add logic, okay, you need to perform this logic. So how to call this paragraph? 200 move para. See, the code is same, but we are going to keep it in a format. We are going to keep it in a format. So like we are going to segregate into a paragraphs, some set of code into some paragraphs. Okay. So whenever it is required, we are going to use it here. We are going to use it. So first what we are doing here, perform 200 move para. So it will come to 31st line and it will execute these lines. Yeah, and just observe here. So whatever we have written earlier in everything in a procedure division, just we are going to separate into different paragraphs. So this is 100 para and this is 200 para. So how it is going to execute? Okay, I'll show you clearly. So first it will come to procedure division. First it will come to the procedure division. It will come to procedure division. So after coming to the procedure division, first this line will get executed. So that's why you can see here, hi, good morning. Next, we are going to move these values to these variables. We are not displaying anything. So if you display by using display keyword only, we can see these values. By using display keyword only, we can see the values in a console. Okay, internally it is moving 20, 30 and mainframes. Okay. Now what is there? Perform 200 move para. It will coming into this line. Okay, this line. Next, what is there here? There are 3 lines. Okay, there are 3 lines. First, we are going to display A and B and name. So what is there in A? A it is contains 20, B contains 30, and names contain mainframes. Okay, up to this part it is clear. Okay, it is executed. Again, what it will do? It will go back to this paragraph. Now, what is there in next line? Perform 100 add para. So perform is nothing but it's like process 100 para. So again, it will come to this paragraph. What is there in 100 para? So 100 para. So we are performing add operation. Compute C equal to A plus B. So compute is a keyword. It's like a verb. It will calculate. So just we are telling calculate A plus B and put it into C. Okay. Then what is there in a display? So whenever we are going to write it as a display, then only the value will get print here. So without display, it won't print here. Display sum of two values equal to WSC. Okay. 20 plus 30, it is a 50. It contains 50. So this is another logic. If you want to keep, you can keep it in another paragraph. This logic also inside this 100 para, you can call that paragraph also. It will work. But anyhow, add A, B, giving WSD. So A contains 20, B contains 30. 20 plus 30, it will add it and it will put it into WSD here. Then finally, we are going to display as WSD equal to WSD. Okay, that WSD contains 50. So this is how it will execute. And again, it will go back to this line. So after that, so what is there? Stop run. Stop run is a keyword. It will stop the execution of our program. This is how internally it will work. Okay. So if you have any doubts, you can ask me now.